If you're African American and you come to my page telling me that I'm black, then you're the one with the identity crisis. If you think I'm black, you don't know what black is. You wouldn't know what black was if it hit you in the face. Even with a black mom and a black dad, you're not fooling anyone by shoving your phony black pride down my throat. If you think I'm black, then you're not black, you're ghetto white. After spending some time on this app as a biracial person, it's important that households learn about mixed races, because it doesn't make sense that kids and people are coming into society not allowing mixed race people to identify as biracial or multiracial. You spend time learning about your culture, white culture, Asian lives, white supremacy, black pride, but you don't spend time to learn about the mixed race. How could you be woke and fucking ignorant at the same time?
Being mixed and biracial does not exist. It never has existed.
Being black and monoracial does not exist. It never has existed. People are tagging me in this video because it's the perfect example of monoracial superiority, where mixed race people don't exist unless they adopt a monoracial identity. It also falls under racial conversion. I've talked about this before. I was friends with a black girl that I did not know was so anti-mixed race, and members of her family sat me down for what felt like 5 hours, interrogating me to racially identify as black. He's talking the way that they talked. He's doing racial conversion on TikTok. His tactics are used against mixed race people all the time, in school, at work, in social settings, in roommate settings. Any setting where the conversation is around race. It's not like they're gonna kill you if you don't identify as monoracial. It just feels unsafe to be around people who don't think you exist as a mixed race person. It's the equivalent to mixed race people what white supremacy is to black people. If you're biracial, it doesn't matter who you are or what you look like. These anti-mixed race people are going to over-psychoanalyze if you are more black or more white. Everything is black versus white. They can't comprehend being biracial. They have to compare it to something. I'll be minding my business and they'll say I'm contradicting myself because yesterday I posted Rasta pasta on my IG story and today I posted French macaroons. French macaroons is white people food. You're white today, aren't you, girl? It's like, no, this food is just fucking delicious. You should try it, anti-mixed race girl. Or when they say things like you're half this, half that, because they don't see biracial as whole. Your mom is racist because she didn't know how to do your hair. My mom knew how to do my hair, but guess what? I knew how to do my own hair. You guys act like we're disabled, like we need white people to survive, we need black people to survive, or we're not gonna make it being mixed race.
Hi, fellow mixed race person here. So watching your video, I agree with the fact that I do believe biracial people and mixed people should be taught to people to understand that there are people who are mixed whose life experiences are different than their own and different than others. However, I feel like it's important to acknowledge that race at the end of the day is a social construct, and it all boils down to how society itself perceives you and how people perceive you. If somebody sees you as a black woman, you would be treated like a black woman. Maybe you would have more privileges for your lighter skin and having more like ethnically ambiguous features, but if that's how they see you, that's how they'll treat you. No one at the end of the day is taking away from your identity and culture. It's just saying how society is going to treat you and your specific and people who look like you. And yeah, that's really it. But yeah.
Well, considering the fact that you could be mixed with plenty of other things other than just black and white, I don't think that you should even be referring to the mixed race, because what exactly is the mixed race? Anything could be included in the mixed race. So for one, shut the fuck up. For two, you sound dumb. You literally sound dumb. You can be multiracial. That doesn't mean you're not one of the races that you are. Bitch, you're still black. You are still black. You are half black, bitch. You are still black. You can scream biracial all day. You can scream biracial all day. That does not change the fact that there's black DNA in your fucking body. Ma'am, you're African American. If you don't want to be black, just say that. Girl, I'm biracial. I identify as black. Hello, how you doing? The fuck? Y'all weird. You're weird. You're weird.
Oh my god, this is a grown woman. I am also mixed race. My parents are not of the same race. And I'm still black, and you are still black. The way the world sees us is as black just because of our skin color and our features. Mixed race and being biracial is not a race in itself because there is no one way to be mixed race. Whether you have one black parent, one white parent, one Asian parent, one black parent, one Asian parent. When you say things like that you're not black, you're mixed race, or you're biracial, you're actively just contributing to anti-blackness and white supremacy.
As a mixed person, I'm half black, half white. I think there's a lot wrong with this video. I agree that there's a different experience being mixed that a lot of people don't understand. And I think that we need to talk more openly about that. However, being mixed itself is not a cultural or racial identity, because you can be mixed with any two things. It's not just black and white. And even within that, there are different kinds of black people, different kinds of white people. So being mixed is not its own identity. Your racial identity is based on your phenotypical features and your phenotypical features alone. So basically, if I'm seen as a black woman, which I am, then I am a black woman. And that's how I identify myself. And I'm very proud to be black. I have light skin privilege, and because my family is white, I have benefited from their privilege, but I'm black.
I'm confused. Cause okay, one, biracial is not a race, methinks. Number two, what, culturally, what do you identify with? Because there's no, biracial culture. When you're growing up and you're biracial, hello, biracial here, you just grow up with both of the cultures surrounding you. So it makes sense. I'm black and I'm Mexican. I identify as both black and Mexican, and I acknowledge that I'm biracial. That makes sense to me. But to solely acknowledge that you're biracial or that you're mixed race, what culture do you identify with? Because there's no biracial, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Honey, I can see from your lightning cream that you're real serious about your anti-blackness, and I did this in my bonnet so you could see how serious I was about mine. Honestly, we could tell that you're multiracial. That's a given, but that doesn't mean that your ancestry doesn't lie with black people. Now, I can understand why you even do it. It's much easier to identify as other than it is to stand with your people. You can identify as a multiracial person. You can let someone know that you are in fact black and something else. But that doesn't mean that society sees you as anything else. And you can paint your face as much as you want to, and you can go scream from the mountaintops about how you want to be biracial. But at the end of the day, the only thing that anyone will ever see, whether you have green eyes or not, is that black in your DNA. So remember that.
I was in a relationship with a black.
See, your argument makes no sense here. So you said you're mad at him for perceiving you as a black woman, or at least a light-skinned woman. So you have no idea what he thought about you. He just thought you were Nigerian. You can have Nigerian ancestry. I am 50% Haitian. I can say I'm Haitian. All right? That doesn't mean I'm 100% Haitian. I'm 50% Haitian. All right? And like you said, this is the first time race has ever come up. So he knew nothing of what you thought about race or your identity when it comes to race. So how is it his fault for assuming that you would go by your heritage? You would go by black or white? If you had never had the discussion, why are you blaming him for not knowing what you want to be known as?
Really hurt.
By now we know that race is based off physical characteristics of a person, aka their phenotype. Biracial is not a race in itself. You can be from any two racial categories and be biracial. You can be black and white and biracial, black and East Asian and biracial, white and Native American and be biracial. As we see the definition of biracial right here, pause and read. And we can see the definition of race right here, pause and read. Notice how it says the physical traits of a person? We know that race is not genetic because two black parents gave birth to a white baby. Pause and read. I can also further prove that biracial is not a race in itself by people who have one black parent and one white parent. As we can see Boris Kojo right here, who's a dark-skinned black biracial person. And we see Halsey, who was a white passing biracial person. So those people are in two completely different racial categories.
If you think I'm black, then you're not black, you're ghetto white. Your mixed race privilege allows for you to racially identify as whatever you want.
So I follow this creator and I struggled with what I wanted to respond to, but I think that the issue is not dealing with what race is in America. There's no mixed privilege and where you can identify as white. Even her being extremely fair-skinned could not go somewhere and pull off being white. Well, maybe she can with the way white women are blackfishing these days, but 5-10 years ago, there was absolutely no way she could have pulled that off. And that is what race does. It boxes you into two spaces. So when someone requires from you to be black when you are white and black, it is because that's how race works in America. You don't want to identify that way. Your personal identity is your own, but that does not stop the systemic identities that happen. You want to change that? Dismantle.
Okay. You're still black though.
One, why are you like so aggressive when you're speaking about this? It's never that serious. Also, there are multiple types of biracial. So if you want to be called biracial and be categorized with these other biracial people who are not white and black, then do that. But that's your loss. Basically, sis is expressing her frustrations on how she would like to be called mixed race and not just black by the black community or by African Americans. And I don't see an issue with that. If you want to be called mixed race, just say that. But she came on here spewing a little bit more nonsense than that. She didn't just say that she wants to be called mixed race. She said a couple other BS stuff like, if you think I'm black, then you're white, ghetto white. You know good and well you're dead wrong for that. It just sounds like you have a lot of anger behind being called black, and I don't understand why. I think that people identifying with one half of their mixed race is not an issue. At the end of the day, you are black, and whatever the hell other half you are. If you want to be called mixed,
I want to speak up against mixed race people who look like me, who say that they are black.
So I've been watching her videos for a while and I think they're really good. I'm from the UK and here people know what mixed race people look like, so they will refer to a mixed race person as a mixed race. Whereas in America, they refer to mixed race people as black people. Now the only reason I'm actually talking about this is because I'm gonna have kids that will be half black and half white, and I will tell them they are mixed race. I will not tell them that they're black. Number one, because they will have a white father figure in the house. They will not have experiences that a full black person will go through, and I don't think it's right for them to primarily take up black spaces, for instance if it comes to roles in films, because then that takes away from a darker skin or a black woman being able to get such roles, when especially they'll be able to take up mixed race roles as well. I do though think it's really sad that a lot of mixed race people who want to identify as mixed race are not allowed to, especially when they just saying who they are, especially if they got a white.
So there's no such thing as mixed culture or biracial culture. Like I've said in previous videos, unfortunately, because of white people and black people, you are perceived as black because you look black. You have black features. Your skin is creamy, coffee mixed with cream. So you are perceived as black or racially ambiguous. People might call you something other than black. But you are very angry about that. And mind you, I have a mixed background as well. My parents identify as black. My father is definitely black. My mother identifies as black. But what I'm noticing is that you're very angry about it. At the end of the day, unfortunately, this is the stereotype that was brought onto us. You are perceived as black because you look black. You look black, sis.
See, what you don't understand is this your America. This your America is the one that causing all the problems for everybody else in this world. Where I'm from, when a kid is mixed, we call him mulatto or we call him mixed kid. I came to America before I started seeing kids that mix and everybody is called black. This country is so racist. Anybody of color, they will call them black. So it's not the people's fault. It's how your country, America, categorize everybody. Even when you go through the application, you don't never see mixed, you don't never see mulatto. All you see is black. No, so it's not the people fault. It's the country that getting everybody confused because they're racist. They don't like people of color.